Hey guys. So, I know what you might be thinking. You might be looking at your screen and you're like, what the hay on a hay farmer is going on here? Didn't you already complete this game? And yes, you are correct. I did complete this game. So, what we're doing here is we're doing a little bit of a wrap up of OMORI, because there's some things in this game that we either missed or we haven't explored yet that I want to explore still. For example, the part where we saw Dark Basil in a piano room after we fell into the stage after completing Sweetheart's Castle. There's that scene there that I need to go and replay the game and get to, just so we could see that scene. There's another part where after we went through Humphrey and he like went away, there was that whirlpool there. And that whirlpool is another thing that we didn't get to explore that I want to explore. And there's other various things that I want to take a look at and just see, just see, uh, just see it, because like I said, I missed a few things. There's also another branching story path to the game. Um, and I don't think we'll be able to get to that in this episode. Mainly because I'm going to be busy, just doing the things that we missed. There's also a total of 6 endings to the game, I think. 4 of them are really similar to each other. They're called the neutral endings. There's the good ending that we got, plus the secret ending. I mean, we also got the secret ending, which come on, man, you can't, I'm just that good. Get the secret ending on the first try. And then there's also a bad ending. And we'll be exploring all of those, and that'll be after we go down the other route. But yeah, so I'm going to essentially have to start the game from scratch and just catch up to the Dark Basil and Piano Room scene. There's not really a whole lot else I know of off the top of my head. I'm gonna be looking at a guide while I play through just to make sure I don't miss anything. But that's pretty much what's on the agenda for this video. The next video will start on the new path. It's called the Hikiko OMORI route, and I'll explain more of how you get that in the next video I do. This series is going to be separate from the OMORI series. Separate in that, like, we're starting over from part 1. I'm still going to put it in the same playlist, but it's going to be called OMORI Wrap Up instead of OMORI Blind Playthrough. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, once we complete all this housekeeping stuff, and once we complete the alternate route, once we get all the endings, I will maybe do a project video on all the achievements for this game, and then after that, I will have very possibly a surprise video, and then that'll be it for the series. So, without further ado, I need to I need to start playing the game and do a lot of off-screen stuff. Yay. Uh, um, I'm I will probably, like, if I run into anything interesting that we didn't see, I'll probably cut it in, but the next clip you'll most likely see is the Dark Basil in the piano room scene. So, I guess I will see you guys there if that's the case. So a friend of mine wanted me to go through and look at all the level 3 emotions that OMORI can get, because, as you've seen in the playthrough, we got to stage 3 happiness on OMORI quite a bit in order to do our happiness build, which was manic, and he had a crazy face. OMORI's the only character that can go to stage 3 that isn't a boss, and this is what he looks like when he's miserable, which is the stage 3 sadness. I figured I might as well just do it. And he looks pretty dead. I mean, his pupils turned white, so it's better than them being black, right? Goodness gracious. But yeah, that's miserable. Anyways, that's it. Alright, and this is what the Furious stage 3 emotion is, the angry stage 3. That's what it looks like. Omori cosplaying his like his something of his sister. His hair's covering his face. He's got one eye going. That's Omori. That's the furious face. I think I've just found a secret in the Firefly Forest. There's an area to the right. You know where the like big wall is with the web on it that we have to smash with like with the minecart in order to get to Sweetheart's castle? So there's actually like a little area to the right of there that I missed the first time I played through the game, and I've gone through it now. I will probably come back to here when I start doing the Hikiko Omori route, just to at least show you guys like what's how to get here essentially. There's like a couple of cat spiders that I have to kind of dodge in order to get here, and then we end up here. So I figured I might as well just go through this now since this is new, and I am trying to, you know, play through all the stuff that I missed the first time I played. So Daddy Longlegs, welcome to the Lost Forest, where you find things you never knew were lost in the first place, or perhaps they're forgotten for a reason. Okay. So there's, oh man, there's like a whole bunch of entrances here. Interesting. Yeah, actually, before I go into this, I should say, when you first get to this last spot here, there's like a watermelon here, and Dark Basil standing here, and then he goes into the trees, and that's how I knew that I can go into here. But I guess we should just go in one of these paths. We'll choose this one. Who's that on the right? That looks like Kel, like Ghost Kel on the very right there. Do you see that? I suppose we all hold secrets. No matter how lost or how deep down we bury them, they find their way back to the other side. Okay, and what's this? Oh man. What the? Ghost bunnies. Okay, so it's a new enemy. That's cool. Yeah, as you could tell, I've been just playing through the game. This is actually a couple days after the beginning intro to this video. Like, I seriously underestimated how long it's gonna take me to get back to the underneath the stage part that I want to get to, so yeah, this is a couple days later, and I'm still in Firefly Floris. What did I just say? Firefly Forest. Oh goodness, yeah. It's been taking me a while, so. It seems like these guys don't actually do damage to me. They're just like, they're sapping away all my juice. Which is interesting. I was going to go to Orange Oasis on this run through and do some grinding there, but I figured I might as well not do that, seeming how I don't really need to do grinding. Like, after I'm done with Sweetheart's Castle, this save file is useless to me. So, okay, let's just go over here. Trying to lose yourself, or have you accomplished that already? Either way, this is the right place for you. Perhaps that's why you've come here, to finish the job. Something else I want to mention while I'm going through here is that the bestiary, the faux facts journal that we've been going through, oh, that's kind of, sorry, we have a whole bunch of new enemies that we can go through, because when we went through Humphrey, we fought like bosses and enemies and stuff like that we should go through, but I haven't completed the bestiary on my happy ending playthrough of this game. So I figured maybe what we'll do instead of going through the bestiary, I mean, other than this entry, I'm going to read it now, but what I'm going to do is that when I do the Hikiko Omori route, once I go through that entire route and complete the game that way, then I'll go through the full facts journal, because I don't think it's actually possible to get all the enemies on the full facts journal if you go for the happy ending, so. Hostile bunny spirits yearning for revenge. They're still kind of cute though, of course. Okay, so this looks like a little sphere. It's a pearl. Okay, I think we can sell those. Usually we tend to do things we want, as opposed to the things we say we do. I've never been one for wants. I'm more of a need kind of person. I suggest you look for the exit before your needs become more apparent. I see, that is incredibly deep, Mr. Daddy Longlegs. That is incredibly deep. Some words of wisdom there. You're still here. You never... or you must have either given up or you have fully embraced your fate. A confession, perhaps, but I'm not the one to tell. Confession. I guess, technically we don't know yet, like, the true story behind OMORI, and the main character's name is Sunny, so I'm gonna start calling him Sunny now instead of Kizzy. I guess, like, during this, we still don't know the truth behind Basil, Sunny, and OMORI, so that's kind of interesting. There was a boy wandering around here before, very similar to you. He's talking about Basil. He went into the darkness and never came out. How regretful it must have been to never find what he was looking for. Be it regret, defeat, or confusion, no one will know. Okay. Which way? I think I go this way. Okay. Apparently this Lost Forest, there's only one path through everything, so we just have to be taking... I guess we must be just going the right way. Which means all the other exits don't lead anywhere. I've been lost and I've been blind, but the combination is unsettling. Man, I could only imagine. I have a big fear. It's the only fear I have as a human being. The only fear I have is being blind, so being lost and blind is just... that's brutal. Perhaps you are hiding away from the right way. Okay. Apparently the hint in order to get through this forest is that you just go to the path the ghost bunny has been by, which we've been following through, but this area in particular only has one exit, so... Okay, what's this here? A campfire? Are we about to get a ghost story? You have reached the end of the Lost Forest, but the beginning of the truth. I will tell you a story that has been lost through time, a story about the creation of this reality. Wait, is he talking about how the creation of this dream world has been? In the beginning, there only existed two, the dreamer and his room. The dreamer grew weary of his room and created a door that led to different worlds. Walking the path as a visitor to these worlds, the dreamer would come and go as he pleased. Slips and falls, tumbles and drops, the dreamer's curiosity and clumsy exploration eventually led him to a certain world. One not like the others. One painted with chaos and bathed in darkness. Is he talking about the black space? Because that's the only thing I could think of from this imaginary world that has that. The dreamer slowly became filled with dread. Quiet as they may have been, words of malice quietly crept into his mind, whispering lies, secrets, and truths. Powerless to silence the noise, the dreamer manifested benevolent entities in his different worlds. Then he compounded his worlds above the dark realm, sealing it with their combined might. Yet, despite his valiant efforts, the darkness's presence never abated. Even with new allies, the darkness continued to scrape and scratch at the back of the dreamer's mind. The noise might have subsided, but it never went away. Oh, is he talking about how Sunny has the guilt of what happened with his sister? Is that what's going on here? Like, he obviously repressed his memory of that. Like, it isn't until we actually confront everything in the black space that we learn of everything that's going on. And so Sunny repressed it. I guess this is what this guy's talking about. Obviously, we wouldn't have known that if we stumbled across this place when we were supposed to, when we played through the story the first time. The dreamer could run and bury his fears, but one still has to face his own reflection. What the dreamer had created was something he could not be a part of, something outside himself. Okay. The dreamer's own power was his greatest adversary. Knowledge, or the absence of it, would become the dreamer's greatest gift. To truly escape the perils of his own faculty and ascend to a blissful state of ignorance. Only then would the noise cease to agitate the dreamer's sanity. So, the dreamer took another name, and chose to forget himself. Oh, that's interesting. From that time on, the dreamer has lived amongst us, simply as an inhabitant of this world, traveling along blissfully ignorant of his own fabrication. Children, I must warn you, as with all things that are born in and out of this world, an end will threaten this one too. Though the dreamer may have subdued the inexorable, the darkness grows still. No bandage can stifle an eternal wound, and there will be a time when its influence will bleed through. Forgetful the dreamer may be of his peril, a peril never forgets to be. Yet the end of this world may be an inevitability. The dreamer is the only one with the ability that can truly set this world free. I see. So he's talking about how Sunny needs to confront. He just... what happened here? He just walked to the fire and disappeared. Okay. So he's talking about how Sunny made this dream world, and he made this image of himself called OMORI to forget what he had done with his sister. That's essentially what he was talking about, and he gives us a letter. Clearly, it's not the right letter that we need. However, speaking of this Hangman game, it's another thing I wanted to kind of check out in this video. Before we start doing the Hikiko Omori route, I wanted to see what it would be like to collect, you know, all the other letters and complete the Hangman game and not get all the right ones. However, apparently it's impossible to get all the letters without going down the Hikiko Omori route, so I won't worry about collecting any of them until we start doing, you know, that path, which will be obviously in the next video in this wrap-up series. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's kind of interesting. I'm gonna pick this up because it doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't. Apparently, picking these keys up doesn't hurt any me. The only way to actually lose the Hangman game is to pick up every single letter, which obviously we can't do, as I mentioned. So yeah, I guess that's it for this. That's very interesting. I'm kind of sad that we missed this, because that would have been super interesting to see just playing the game normally. But obviously now that we've beat it, we know what he's talking about. We know all the backstory, so it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so the next clip should be me doing Dark Basil and piano, hopefully. Unless there's something else that I find, which, I mean, I doubt it, but you never know. Oh, okay, so I'm almost back to the part where we're at the Dark Basil piano scene, and I'm just going through these books, and this one in particular is actually kind of interesting. When we went over it the first time we played through the game, maybe like I made a remark about it or not. The point is, I've forgotten about it. Essentially, what this book dictates is how Sunny, the main character, got his 3 fears of heights, spiders, and water. It's sunset. A strange statue watches over the hidden lake. It might have meant something significant in the past, but time has made its engravings illegible. Either way, it doesn't matter to the company visiting it today. They're only here to use it as a diving board. The brothers take turns jumping off the statue, so it's talking about Hiro and Kel. I'm gonna say Hiro jumps first, then Kel, then Hiro again, then Kel again. The brothers gleefully urge Sunny to join them. After some careful thought, Sunny warily agrees. Sunny shuffles up the statue and looks down at the moving water. He can hear his heartbeat. His ears begin to ring. His legs feel as if they would give out at any time. He tries to focus on his breathing. He feels something crawling on his shoulders, and his eyes fly open to meet with those of a black spider. In an instant, Sunny loses all sense and hurls himself into the lake. Water fills his nose. He exerts his limbs, but the water is stronger. He is too weak, too helpless, or that he is what he believes. Sunny shuts his eyes and waits for the brothers to save him. So, like I said, the first time I played through the game, maybe like I just passed over it, but this is explaining how Sunny got his 3 fears, and it wasn't Hero or Kel that saves him, it's actually his sister Mari that ends up saving him. And we see that in the scene when Aubrey pushes Basil into the lake, and then we go in to save him, and then we have our panic attack because we're afraid of water. And then as we leave the water, we have that moment of seeing Mari jumping in to save Sunny, although obviously this time it's Hero, but point is that's how he got his 3 fears. And when I was looking up information on this game, I was like, why is it that Sunny has these 3 fears? And it explains the scene. Like on the wiki, it explains the scene about how he was jumping off a statue, and it's a spider that scares him off the statue, and yeah, so that's that. The wall feels hollow here, so I think I need to read all these books, and then I'll go in the bookcase will open. We've been through these books, so I'm gonna skip them really quick. It's just that book in particular I found kind of interesting. And looking back at it now that we have more information, it makes a lot more sense now, right? There we go. Time to get the scene that I missed. So that's Dark Basil there. Dots. And he disappears. A grand piano. The word OMORI is etched across the center. So, Mari's picnic basket. Oh, you could save in here? Really? That's interesting. The wall feels hollow here. Oh yes, some delicious fruits. Would you like to eat some? You feel better. Okay. So, in the real, in Sunny's real world, it's not OMORI across his piano, it's Sunny, obviously. Feels hollow. Is that all there was to this area? Because, huh. Do those walls open up or something? If that's all this was, I'm kind of disappointed. I was really expecting something more. God, is that really it? And then the L key. I feel like I'm holding an L right now. Jesus, that's okay. That really was it. I played through this game 2 days. I played hours and hours to get back here, right, over the span of a week, and that's all I'm treated with. Oh, that makes me so sad. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there's one other thing I want to check out. This episode might end up being on the shorter side, but that's just because it is the way it ended up, so. But the last thing we need to check out is Humphrey, the Whirlpool at Humphrey, which luckily I could just load a save, which I can actually do in here because there's a picnic basket. And that's the last thing I want to check out. Everything else that we might need to check out, the guy at Sweetheart's Castle and all that stuff, we can check out during the Hikiko Omori route. In fact, we can only check out some stuff during the Hikiko Omori route, so I figured I would just wait until we do that, till we check that stuff out. Which is why I didn't really grind on this file either. I could have gone to Orange Oasis, but there's no reason to. Oh, I can't save. God dang it. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, so that'll be the next clip, is Humphrey's Whirlpool. We finally made it! Humphrey's Whirlpool. So, I had gone down here, very briefly one time during the playthrough, but I left right away because I wanted to save it because it looks like it's full of content. This is the message here that got me to turn around. You've come again to seek the truth. Each time, your adventures may be, disparate? I don't know. That word is okay. But as your journey nears its end, it will always lead you back here. The truth. The truth is always the same. They might be talking about the truth that Sunny killed Mari. The path to the truth was once here, but it has been removed. It was moved to a lighthouse in a pier, then to a library banished deep underground, and after that to an old barn on a distant planet. And this time, it will be in the heart of a vast forest. Oh, okay, so the so the time that we came back to Omori's world, which is the Dreamland. I'm gonna just call it Omori's world because that's what I've been doing the whole time. The last time we came here, when we got over our fear of water and Ghost Mari was following us, we went to a lighthouse, and I was wondering what the heck that was. So I guess that was when Sunny first created this place. He hid the truth of him killing his sister and like his PTSD in the lighthouse. And obviously, that wasn't hidden enough. So then he hid it in the library that was underneath the stage of Sprout Mole Village, which obviously that didn't hide it enough. So then he hid it in the barn in Otherworld, which Dark Basil took us to when we got done with the stuff with Captain Spaceboy. Obviously that wasn't enough. So that's interesting. I guess that's what he was talking about, right? No matter how many times the path is concealed, the flower boy will always find it. Oh, so Basil's the one digging up the thing, right? And that makes sense. And your dear sister Mari, she will always guide you to it. Even as hollow shells, they will continue to evolve. Yeah, so the grief, obviously, he's talking about how the grief and like the guilt of what had happened is causing them, like as much as they want to forget it, it'll always be there. And each time they will grow wings and fly too close to the sun. It is their nature. They are the only ones who know, and one has carried it with her to the grave. Right. So Sunny, Basil are the ones who know, and Mari knows, but she's dead, so. Death may be no danger here, but the memories of them do not fade so easily. Many times your friends have met with an unfortunate fate. Although they are revived time and time again, the most haunting stay in this world, even if only their bones remain. The long-lost ones sink here, to the bottom of Deepwell, and become nothing. You have forsaken them, yet they still yearn for your care. Their souls know nothing, but how to scream for help. Do you take pity on them? It's talking about how, like, our friends, Sunny's and Basil's friends, they don't know what happened, and they just are just really sad about what happened to Mari. Your dear sister Mari, with a bad knee, you could not bear for her to die again, so she was given the safety of a picnic blanket. Yet it is her nature to leave and to protect. And when she does, she will leave you again and be born anew, with the undying soul that you have cursed her with. Is a bad knee? That's kind of new, I didn't... What? The souls assigned to your friends. They are fragile and must be protected, and they must remain asleep. Yet, the path to the truth is closer to your most precious room than ever before. Will you be able to bury it this time? Perhaps it is too late for you. So I wonder, there's another thing. They were talking about how there's Deep Well, Deeper Well, and there's another one called the Abyss. And I wonder if this is what is going on here. We're going to the Abyss. Or maybe not. Oh, that's the window for the piano. You know of the keys to the other realm. They are different each time, but they will unlock the same door. The end of this journey will lead to suffering, but if you do not face this, you cannot continue. This form, though it is not shown its true self, is evil. You will not see that unless you fight it. When your intentions become hazy, they will transpire into this world like a thick fog. You will know when it happens. It has already happened before. So I think it's talking about how when we fought Basil in Sunny's world, during the time that we were in the hospital and not conscious, we came back to OMORI's world and we confronted him and we went through, the I don't know what to call it, the dark, not black space. It wasn't black space. It was something else, like the shadow realm or something. I don't know. But I think that's what it's talking about here. At that time, return to where the truth was reborn. Return to where the truth was reborn. To the heart of the forest. And like each time before it, attempt to rewrite your fate. Will you be doomed to repeat the cycle over and over, or will you break it? Explore this world while you can, dreamer, until there is nothing left. Oh, and then Shadow Mari. Or Ghost Mari. Sorry. Regular Mari, I should say. Okay. Why did it just bring me to the Hangman game? What the? Why did it pop me out here? Oh my god, what a... So this is just a teleporter back to, okay. Back to the tree stump. Can I go back, or is it gonna stop me again? Because last time we tried to come back, it, Interesting. This is different. It didn't have this sound in white space before. Okay. Oh, and I can stab. So instead of going to Basil's house right now, because we have all the keys, right? To go to black space. We could stab ourselves instead. I guess, okay. Okay, so this is content I want to save for after I complete the Hikiko Omori route. There's multiple endings to this game on each path. On the Hikiko Omori route, there's two endings. Both of them, they're not the good or the bad ending. Like the only way you can get the good and the bad ending is on the route that we played through in our main Let's Play. The Hikiko Mori route leads to two endings they're called the neutral endings, but like I'll explain why once we get to them. And then there's two more neutral endings in this route as well, the regular route that we played through. So I think if we stabbed ourselves right now, we would go back to Sunny's world and we would get the neutral endings, which is interesting. And then the Hikiko Mori route neutral endings, you have to do something else, I'm assuming. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, so that'll be everything that I wanted to explore before we went down the new path. Yeah, I showed the emotions, the tier 3 emotions. I went to the dark Basil piano scene, which was such a letdown. I don't know if those walls opened or not. I'm sure they were just there. But yeah, and then the Humphrey scene. Okay, cool. So yeah, in order to go down the Hikiko Mori route, you have to, when you're in Kizzy's world the second time, like not the time that you go down the stairs and are afraid, right? The second time when Kel knocks on the door in the morning, if you answer no to Kel knocking on the door, like if you don't open the door, you can do the chores in your house and go back to sleep. So you don't interact with any of your friends. You don't get the part where you help Basil get his photo album back. You don't confront Aubrey and her new friends. You don't do any of that. And that's what triggers the Hikiko Omori route. Because, like, it's implied... I'm not sure. I tried to look up the term Hikiko, but I couldn't find anything. Probably because I didn't look hard enough, but I'm assuming it has something to do with, like, a dreamland or dreams or something like that. So, yeah. that'll be in the next episode. Anyways, that's all I had for you today. It's a little bit of a shorter episode. Um, I'm not exactly sure what the Hikiko route entails, story-wise. So if there's a bunch of repeat stuff, like if we go to the Hikiko OMORI route, and I have to go through the same scenes of going through Firefly Forest and all that stuff, I'll probably end up skipping a lot of it. And I'll just try and point out any of the stuff that's different. So yeah, the series, like it'll be more of a mini series. Like I said, it's a wrap up. It's exploring the stuff that we didn't get to see on our main playthrough. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.